Hello, traders. Today is Monday, January 6th, and I'm going to be doing a recap of the popular videos of the day. Don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, if you'd like to get access to my daily forecast, my members-only channels on Discord, my swing trade setups, and the including trading course for only $30 per month. So anyways, on the euro dollar today, we had a very nice impulsive move to the upside. I think it had something to do with Trump talking about tariffs for other countries. Now, we did end up closing pretty strong above the 78%, and this move up is definitely a trend in my eyes. This actually may even end up being a wave 4 on the much higher time frames like the daily. If that is true, then this actually could be a wave A. This potentially would go down and make a cut into that move up for a wave B, and then it probably would go up and break structure for a wave C, but instead of breaking and holding with momentum, it probably more likely will reject structure and end up continuing the downtrend from there. So I'm definitely still looking at this as a downtrend, but I think we may be in a bigger pullback. I think we may see some more movement to the upside on the euro dollar. Moving down to the pound dollar, pretty much exactly the same story. All the dollar pairs made the same move today. We got a nice impulsive move to the upside. I would assume that this is probably just a wave A of an ABC correction. I think there's a pretty good chance that we'll get a push down for like a wave B and then eventually get a push up for a wave C. Oftentimes ABC corrections do break structure, so if it goes up and breaks this structure, but then rejects structure, especially if it's three waves up, I definitely would take that as a sorting opportunity, potentially for the continuation of the downtrend. Now, a couple of the other dollar pairs, like the Aussie dollar, did break structure. So definitely would be primarily, at least on these sort of time frames, looking for longs at the end of pullbacks. Maybe something like this would probably be a pretty good long for either a wave C, like an A, B, C, or maybe even a 1, 2, and wave 3. Either way, I would be trying to go a long way here and hopefully learning and earning at the same time whether this is a wave C or whether it is a wave 3. So yeah, pretty much across the board, we had the same moves. The US dollar CAD did make an impulsive move up at the end at the 50% Fibonacci level. Very easily could be an ABC correction, so keep an eye out for some longs on that. US dollar Swiss didn't really have quite as much of an impulsive move up, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did actually go down again. But as long as it doesn't go down and break this low right here, I'm definitely looking for longs and an uptrend at the end of three-way pullbacks, especially 1, 2, 3-way pullbacks. So moving on to gold, I think probably one of the more popular pairs for everybody. Gold did end up making a pretty nice impulsive move down, and like I said this morning, it definitely has that A, B, and C shape to it. Definitely an impulsive move down, definitely a couple breaks of structure. One thing you also need to notice is that the move down is definitely a trend. It kind of looks like a pretty nice little five-wave trend. So maybe this is a wave 1. Now I have my Fibonacci retracement on this push down right here, and if this does go up, especially if it makes three waves up, maybe better visible on like the 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, to a Fibonacci retracement level of this last push down, then that potentially could be the end of a wave 2 and maybe even the continuation of the downtrend for a wave 3, which if it really is a 1, 2, 3 of wave C, like I was talking about in the morning video, which by the way, if you didn't see my morning video, which I cover all the pairs, definitely make sure you check that out. Link will be at the end of this video. So yeah, that would potentially be a really nice trade if it did go down and make that wave 3 of wave C. So yeah, let's see. We do have some pretty important news coming out tomorrow. We have CPI for the Swiss tomorrow morning, London session. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. We got construction PMI for the pound. We have the flash CPI for the euro, which is not the big one, but definitely a one to watch out for. And then we also have ISM service PMI, and we have job openings. Uh, Jolt's job openings, which is definitely a pretty good news event. So we have a few pretty good news events to look out for. Pretty decent week as far as news is concerned. So I do think that we'll see some pretty good moves this week. Plus, it's really the first full week of the year, and January, February, March is usually a really good time for big trends and maybe even reversals in the market, especially on higher time frames. So keep an eye out for those higher time frame turns, especially if you really are a swing trader like I am. So don't forget to check out my morning video. And as always, thank you and happy trading.